Hey there, rockers! It's Kate from KatyDid. Welcome to my submission for Theo Kellison's Maker's Challenge. I initially started out, I was going to do something nice and simple. I was going to do a votive with rock slabs. Well, nothing is ever simple in my life. So suddenly, my little candle votive blossomed into this idea of I was going to do a Tiffany lamp with agate slabs. So I set out to take the challenge. And well, we'll see how that goes. Things aren't always the way that I plan, but they usually turn out pretty cool.
So many beautiful rocks. That's a nice thing to find on my way out.
So the first thing that I needed to do was to pick some nice slabs. And this is actually some petrified wood, agatized wood. You see me pick it up all the time, and this is why. It's beautiful. Next, the plan is I'm gonna solder this lamp together. I've never soldered before, so this was a whole new experience for me. But I thought it was really, really fun. I really like the process of turning it all silver, and it just made me feel like I was doing something really cool, right? There were, I didn't count them, but there's got to be 30 pieces in this lamp, and every single one of them needed to be wrapped with foil and then soldered with the solder and then put it all together. So here I go. I'm going to put them together. It's going to be great. I am using masking tape here in order to make them stick to my metal bowl. After I tacked them together with solder, I put another layer of copper tape. I figured it might as well because it could be more strong, and some more solder on top of that. I was a little concerned that the solder wouldn't hold, and so I decided to make it extra strong. The soldering paste you have to use. Soldering is cool because you put a flux on it, which is something that makes it run and melt, and that's the soldering paste. And then when you melt it, it actually just kind of whoosh right across the surface that you put the flux on. Take a look. If you take a look, there it is. So cool. Anyway, so soldering was really fun. I was really excited about learning how to do it even just a little bit. And I was really excited because it was working exactly the way I had planned. Don't get too excited just yet. Putting all the pieces together took a long time, and I wasn't really sure. I didn't cut them specifically. They were just the way they were when I cut them out of the slab saw, so I didn't cut them to size, which meant that it was a little bit less precise than it probably should have been. Now is the moment of truth. We're going to take it off of the bowl and we're going to put it on the lamp, right? Right? Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. The masking tape is sticking. I'm using a knife, trying to pry it apart. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Maybe a sharper knife. Yeah, look, it's coming. It's coming apart. It's coming apart. Oh no, it's coming apart. What am I gonna do? It's coming apart. Well, now what do? I have 4 days until this video needs to come out. I've spent hours and hours and hours trying to do this soldering. I thought for sure it was going to be great. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do next. So, of course, I started brainstorming, because that's what you do when you're up against the wall, is you start thinking about possibilities. And the first thing I thought of is that maybe Jim could print on his 3D printer some little plastic clips, but that turned out to be probably a bigger project than we really wanted to do. Oh, isn't that pretty? And so he suggested using this Fix-It. Fix-It is it's an epoxy putty, and it is so cool because you mix it together and you can use it like clay. You mix it together, you can use it like clay, and then when it hardens, it is harder than stone. It is so strong. So I thought, great, this is gonna be perfect. And so I mixed up this Fix-It putty and I started putting it together with my little snakes of putty. Unfortunately, they didn't stick together. I think if I could have kept them there long enough, they would have stuck together because it would have hardened in place. But the way it was falling apart. It was not working. I was starting to get a little bit panicked because nothing was working the way I thought it should. And I really needed to get this video done. The Maker's Challenge was turning out to be more of a challenge than I really expected. I know, maybe I'll use some super glue to hold it in place before it dries. Yeah, guess what? Super glue doesn't work in this case. I love super glue, but it is just not right for the rock, for making a Tiffany lamp. So I tried it. It didn't work. What am I gonna do, Jim? What am I gonna do? I'm just freaking out at this point because I have a limited amount of time. I have a limited amount of Fix-It because we have just little small cans of it, and I don't know what I'm gonna do because I might run out. But I decided this is the only way that I can try this. This is the only thing I can do. I can try rolling in these little snakes and just rolling these little snakes and wrapping every single slab with these little pieces of putty. And it is going to be, it's gonna look a little clunky, but it's better than not getting it done at all, right? So I set out to wrap all of the pieces in putty. And it sounds like a pretty easy task, but in fact, it doesn't stick real well when you first put it in. So I still had a lot of anxiety as I was trying to make it go, make it stay together. But pretty soon it started to stick, and I started to think, hey, this is gonna work. Using water to smooth it is always a great idea. And I think if I'd used a little more water to smooth it, I think I might have had a little less of the other work that you'll see to do. Here it goes. Here it goes. Is it gonna break? Is it? Oh, my heart. I can't take it. Is it? Oh, it came out of the bowl. It came out of the bowl without any problem. Oh, this stuff is so great. This stuff is so wonderful. I love it. Fix-It, you're my friend. It does look a little bit like Tiffany meets the Flintstones. Maybe we can fix it. Maybe we can fix it up. I'll use the Gremel and I'll use the grinder and I will just see if I can make it look a little less clunky. So here I go. Lots of dust. I still have that stove vent on. Speaking of stove vents, that was my big idea for where to put the light bulb. Jim came up with a better plan. He's decided he would 3D print a light bulb holder for me. And here it is getting started. And here it is the next day. Here it is the second time around. It felt really right to me that the first time would be a complete disaster because everything else about this project was that way too. And here is the finished light bulb holder. Well, there's lots of little holes in it because I want the light to come through. It's not super pretty, but it's going to be buried underneath a whole bunch of rocks, and so I just spray painted it and called it good. After I got everything all put together, I put some copper tape around some of the toppers, and I decided, hey, this copper looks way better than the bronze that I had earlier. And so I went ahead and repainted everything with a copper colored metallic paint instead of the bronze. And I really like it. I don't know, still looks a little bit like Flintstones. Oh my goodness, you know, I am not a precise maker. I do love to create. Oh, isn't that pretty? I'm so happy with how it turned out, except for all of the problems I had. It's just lovely, isn't it? And I don't even feel like my whole journey was a failure. Because it ended someplace great. Even looks like a lampshade. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my my project, and I hope it taught you that, you know, you don't always have to get it right the first time or even the second or third. You just have to keep on doing. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click the subscribe button. You can also share the treasures at KatyDidRocks on Etsy. Thanks for joining me, and be well. Oh, my. That was very long.